The internet has declared Elon Musk a trillionaire. Now, most of you are probably too smart to fall for all the propaganda that followed, so my goal here is to give some talking points if you need them. Elon Musk doesn't have $1 trillion. Even assuming the number is correct, he has assets under his control that sum up to that. By under his control, he doesn't even fully control all those assets, as there are probably shareholders with some of it, and some of it is in the form of equity against loans. For that matter, most billionaires don't have $1 billion, nor do most millionaires have $1 million. Some assets are deliberately overvalued. We saw this with Trump and his New York real estate deals. Lending institutions will often allow overvaluation of assets as collateral if they believe the risk is low or manageable. An investor might have collateral assets valued at $1 million. They might use that asset for a $2 million loan. The lender knows the value of the asset is $1 million, but due to the borrower's reputation, the lender may allow for the asset to be revalued contrary to the market prices or demand. The collateral value of the asset just doubled, even though the market says otherwise. In addition to the fact that the asset value may be inflated beyond market, there's another issue. The demand value of something does not directly equate to its sales value, especially when sold in volume. At the time I was putting this together, a share of SpaceX was right around $190 per share. The issue is, let's say there were some way to force a liquidation of these shares, their value would fall precipitously to zero. If you sold them all, they would lose their value. So these assets are only worth what they are worth if they are being used for their current intent and purpose. There is no Scrooge McDuck money pile to grab. The money from the IPO isn't flowing into some subterranean treasure chamber. It's paying off high interest debts, it's going into salaries of employees, it's purchasing vendor services, it's going into industrial plant production, it's digits that are being rapidly transferred into ethereal services and fees, and also being turned into real infrastructure that can't necessarily be turned back into money. At least most of it can't be sold for the price it's being purchased for. Now, some of the online commies are railing that this money was stolen from you. Well, this is ridiculous. Assets in Musk's sphere of influence are either share purchases, sales of services, or some form of loan. This money never belonged to you and never was going to come to you. The investor wasn't think of buying that hemp macrame pot holder that you made, or the meditation crystals that you have sitting on your bedroom shelf, and said, wow, I was just getting ready to buy those crystals or hemp and decided to buy a Tesla share instead. And the bank wasn't thinking of giving you a loan for lotto tickets against your sub 600 credit score and suddenly decided to loan it to Elon instead. If you think this money somehow came from you, you're as crazy as a person who thinks Sydney Sweeney is secretly sending them love messages when she talks in public. Or maybe Pedro Pascal for you commies. One argument I hear is that Elon made his money off the government, and that's true to a point. However, it's not like he was handed a gift or a free payout. Everything was a service or a product that the government purchased. And in most cases, it was done more cheaply than it could be purchased from another competitor. Tesla benefited for a time from government subsidizing electric cars. Electric cars is something no one would have made without subsidies because they don't make any economic sense. The same people carping about Musk getting government subsidies loved Teslas right up until the media told them that Elon was on the other team. Most of the money made by Musk's production has actually come from Starlink. Now, some claim that the government could do a better job with this money. Consider that we are in the United States $40 trillion in debt. And we don't get much for this. We had a rural internet bill that ended up costing $42 billion and connected no additional people. We add $7.5 billion, build 37 charging stations for electric cars. California's high-speed rail is $100 billion over budget, and after 13 years of construction, no track has been laid. Clearly, Elon Musk delivers. Teslas were wildly popular before Elon took a political stance, and most Tesla owners still love their cars. Starlink is collecting the world, and SpaceX dominates the satellite launch industry and is a major contributor to getting supplies to the space station, and now is supporting manned space exploration. Well, then, maybe we're wasting money in space. That money should be spent here. That's, again, old stupidity. Not a penny of money is spent in space. It's all spent on Earth creating high paying jobs, producing real things made mostly by American workers. Elon's space infrastructure will allow for data centers that you don't want in your state to be built in orbit. The technology to keep people alive in lunar and Martian environments will have direct follow on applications for environmental concerns with water, air, and crops on Earth. And asteroid mining may make it so that we don't even have to mine the Earth that much, or possibly even at all. So here's an odd thought. All these people who hate people with wealth and contrive all manner of reasons to explain why the way they earned it is somehow bad, or the amount they have is somehow too high, or they took it from the wrong person. Have you ever heard them freak out on a lottery winner who has hit the jackpot? No matter how big it is, even if someone's making, I believe the highest one was just shy of $1 billion after they got done doing all the cutting. Lottery ticket sales are clearly targeted at poor people who can least afford it. And the winners are taking their money from the other ticket buyers who are poor people who can least afford it. So, in other words, it's not really about who took what from who or how they got it or how much. It's commie class warfare BS. All right, comment section below. There's some arguments I didn't touch on that people are going on about that I should have, and tell me what bring up the argument and tell me how you would attack that argument. And was there something I talked about that could be said in a better way, or you have an alternative? Throw them in the comment section. All right, please smash the like button. If the YouTube algorithm brought you here and you're not a regular subscriber, look at all my other titles. You'll see that I get into a lot of topics. You'll find something you like. It's worth subscribing to. And thank you for spending time with me this evening. Hope to see you again in a future video.